Good evening. I'm Bob Baldacci, and welcome to Baldacci On Business. This is our fourth installment of our new show format, Pitch Me. And I got to tell you, this has been a lot of fun for me, and I know our panel, and before I introduce our special guest entrepreneurs this evening, I want to introduce the panel. And on my immediate left is Elizabeth Baldacci, principal in Baldacci Group. Elizabeth is an investor, member of the Maine Angels, and offers a long sales and marketing background. Debbie Elliott, who is sitting in for her partner, Mr. F. Lee Bailey. But Bailey and Elliott are involved in economic development consulting. Debbie worked as a business consultant with the Department of Economic and Community Development, has owned and operated her own business for many years, and very pleased to have you with us tonight, Debbie.
Thank you.
And Hugh Stevens, from the University of Maine School of Economics, the Knowledge Transfer Alliance. Did I get that all in?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, and it's fitting that you're here because our guest entrepreneurs are also University of Maine graduates from that department.
Absolutely.
And Don Gooding, who sounds an awful lot like Frank Sinatra when he sings.
On a good day.
On a good day. But Don is his day job when he's not singing is the director of the Maine Center for Entrepreneurial Development. He's the vice chair of the Maine Angels, is an investor, and a very, very savvy and experienced entrepreneur. So we've got a great panel tonight to hear a very, very interesting story. Two young guys, Devin McNeill and Charles Friedman, who have formed a company called Flowfold. And one of the questions I'm going to ask you is, how did you come up with the name? But before we get too much into your story, why don't you just say a few words? And I know you have a short video to introduce.
Thank you. We're excited to be here. My name's Devin McNeill.
And I'm Charles Friedman, and we're the owners of Flowfold. Flowfold is a lifestyle company that designs, manufactures, and sells a line of carrying accessories that are designed to be functional, durable, and aesthetic. They also contain some of the most sophisticated materials that are available. We manufacture all of our products in Maine, and we're committed to the reuse of discarded material. We're proud to offer consumers the opportunity to make a positive impact on the environment because we're using waste material, and also make a positive impact on the local economy since we do all the production here in Maine.
Excellent. Now, you have a short video you want to introduce at this time, Devin?
Before we introduce our video, we just want to tell you a little bit about what we've done as a company. Since debuting in March 2011, we've sold over $100,000 of our product and opened up more than 150 wholesale accounts.
You say that number again?
$100,000 of revenue.
Fantastic.
We also sell our products online through our website, flowfold.com, and that accounts for 35% of our total revenue. What I'd like to note for 2012 is our products have been tested in the stores. 48% of the revenue that we've booked this year has been in the form of a reorder. So these are tested in our brick and mortar stores. And to introduce you to the product line, we wanted to show you a video one of our wholesale accounts developed for us. And I think it speaks to the qualities and the way that we market our product.
Thank you. To the video.
For a slim and rugged wallet that stands out from the rest, look no further than recycled sailcloth wallets. They're made from racing sailcloth, a feather-light fabric with fibers stronger than steel. The odds and ends of this resilient material are repurposed into wallets, keeping waste out of landfills. Thin in size and environmental impact, but not on toughness, sailcloth wallets are sure to keep you and your skinny jeans happy. The wallets are available in two styles. The traditional billfold is as light as 3 sheets of copy paper and features 2 card pockets, 2 ID window pockets, and a cash pocket. The minimalist targetero is nearly as thin as a single credit card when empty, and the pocket can hold several bills and up to 11 cards. We could spend all day explaining why thinner is better, but we'll let the wallet speak for itself. It looks like he's storing a gerbil in his pants. The sailcloth also makes for a naturally waterproof wallet that floats, so they're perfect for the modern adventurer or aspiring liquid mountaineer.
I got it! Whoa! Must have been like 8 or 9 steps!
Handcrafted in America, these wallets are ultra thin, ultra light, and ultra durable. Seriously. Check out all of the available patterns and buy the recycled sailcloth wallet now at vat19.com.
Terrific, terrific. Any gerbils in anybody's pants at this point? All right, go ahead, guys.
So since debuting in August, that YouTube video has generated over 230,000 views and more than $5,000 in retail sales per month for our client.
Yeah.
So that video pointed out some great specific features about our products, but I wanted to talk a little bit about what differentiates the Flowfold brand. So rather than making any product that we could think up, we're really focused on the functionality and usability of our products. And this is to the point that we'd be making them for ourselves to use even if we weren't selling them. And what that means for the products that we do sell is that they're extremely well tested, and it ultimately gives a lot of value to the consumer. Another trait that sets us apart is that we're able to offer our items at an accessible price, which is a challenge for many ecologically conscious and locally made goods. And we achieve this because of our backgrounds in the actual manufacturing of the goods. We think about how they're being mass produced as part of the initial design process. And keeping the prices accessible is very important because people want to support the local economy and reuse waste material, but many of the products that do this are extremely overpriced compared to their imported competitors. Finally, we think outside the box about the material use, and we're selecting the most advanced materials that exist for the application rather than just using, standard materials that you might find in other products.
During 2011, in our first year of business, we generated $35,000 of sales. We use that as a baseline, and our goal is to double sales through fiscal year 2016. This year, we have accomplished that goal and have $70,000 of sales moving into December. We believe that we can continue to double sales if we focus on 3 core business development areas. The first area is product. By diversifying our product line, we believe we have an opportunity to grow organically. And as shown right here, we just launched the Flowfold tote bag. We're very optimistic about this product. And for a company that's current product line is traditionally male products, we're excited to enter the women's market. We're also developing a clutch, which we think will be a big winner for us in the upcoming year. The second aspect of the business development that we want to focus on are obviously sales. And we think there are 3 ways that we can do this. The first way is by really figuring out our point of purchase displays. It's been an iterative process, and we've used some point of purchase displays, but we haven't really cracked the code in terms of this is scalable, easy to ship, cost effective, but most importantly, consistent with our brand message. Once we can develop a point of purchase that we're comfortable with, we are very confident that our wholesale growth will be very large, and it will offer us an ability to go to trade shows, which we have in the past and have been very successful in converting wholesale accounts. But if you were to look at a map and see where our wholesale accounts are located, you'll notice that it's primarily in the Northeast and scattered throughout the country. We believe if we get the point of purchase solved, we can strategically identify trade shows in Denver and California that our product would do well in. And then the third and final and most important focus area for us would be brand. And that's something that Charlie spoke about. And it's just making sure that our brand message is consistent and clear, because the bottom line is anybody's products can be copied. It's all about why you are in business and why you are doing what you're doing. So as long as we can focus on that and make sure that is clear, then we believe we can continue to double sales through fiscal 16, excuse me. And we're here today to see if there are any potential opportunities through the panelists to help us achieve these goals. And we wanted to thank you guys for having us on the show and giving us this opportunity.
Devin and Charles, thank you for taking time to meet with us. Panel, please.
I have
Debbie.
a bunch of questions.
Go ahead.
One is about manufacturing. Do you have a location? Is it a cottage industry, and that your people are doing the sewing at home? Have you had a difficulty finding people to manufacture your?
So we're very fortunate. One of our strongest suits is definitely the manufacturing. We have a really solid partner in Lewiston, Maine that we work with, and my background in sewing sailboat sails allows me to do the prototyping, see what it's like bringing it to sail, work with our partners. So, you know, when we bring a product to them, it's not just reproduce this. There's some ideas about how it's getting scaled up. So
it's being produced in a factory?
Yes.
In Lewiston. How much does it cost you to make a wallet?
Wallets cost $5 a unit.
What are you charging for them?
We retail them for $22 and wholesale them for $11.
Can we talk a little bit about supply chain management? Yeah, I understand that these are supposed to be recycled materials. To what extent are you constrained by the ability to gather all of this? As you probably know, there's a very successful company, I believe, Seabags,
Yes.
which has a similar strategy. I mean, are you fighting over old sales?
Good question,
so,
Don.
So with the products you're seeing here, it's a composite laminate cloth, and Seabags is using post-consumer waste, and we're using pre-consumer waste. So our partners are the people that are manufacturing sails, and we're using scraps, you know, this corner, that corner, this many yards, and then also with the actual manufacturers of the cloths, the mills. So, and the neat part about that is these materials are cutting edge to the point that there's a lot of waste, since they're still figuring out the adhesives to use, how they're laminating it. You know, if the matrix is on the inside, if some of that gets screwed up, it might ruin a 100-yard roll for using it on large sailboat sails, but we can make 10,000 wallets with that. So,
Are they charging you for this?
yeah, absolutely.
Can they handle all the different types of products that you're going to be introducing?
Yeah, for this foreseeable future, I mean, for, you know, up till 2016 in our forecast, we shouldn't run into a problem with that.
Our projections aren't constrained by any material shortages.
In your distribution, are you doing trade shows yourself, or do you have manufacturers' representatives?
We do all the trade shows ourselves, correct.
Okay, and who are your wholesale accounts? Where would we find these other than online?
Sure, so examples that you might know in Portland would be Nomads on Commercial Street, and also Lisa Marie's is on Exchange Street. Maine Sport Outfitters has a few locations, I think, in Rockland. So kind of, you know, one to do location, boutique outdoor stores are kind of where we're at now.
Okay.
We haven't, like as Devin said, it's pretty just concentrated on the East Coast and New England. So there's a lot of, you know, mountain towns in the Rockies, and then getting across to California too. So.
But you handle all the relationships yourselves with the wholesale.
So one of the steps we took in 2012 that helped us more than double our revenue was to take on a salesperson. So Nick Power has been helping us do that, and he's paid on a commission basis, and then he's doing the customer service in our wholesale accounts.
Yeah.
And you have 150 wholesale accounts,
Correct.
and that accounted for 65% of your sales last year, did you say? And
48.
48 and
48%.
52.
48 is reorders, and then 60.
Yep, 65 of our total revenue is a function of wholesale
Okay,
accounts.
65. Okay.
Right.
Of that 65, 48% are
So
reorders.
Okay.
Dawn.
Yeah, so you did you showed us the video, which one of your, I would say, out of control retailers did, because they didn't say this was a Flowfold. They said this was a sailcloth wallet. So you're trying to build a company around a brand, and yet you have your most successful retailer not saying your product. I mean, how the heck
Yeah.
did you guys let that happen?
Yeah.
Well, that was an important thing for us to have happen in that video because they're actually an online retailer, and so they compete with our online store.
Right.
So they're marketing it as a recycled sailcloth wallet, whereas we're marketing it online as Flowfold. Now their store is set up, you know, they have a lot of traffic, they're making a lot of sales obviously, but when they put that video out, we didn't want the Flowfold keyword to be monopolized by them because that's a large part of our revenue is our own website.
And that was what I was going to get to, is your distribution conflict. You're going direct, and you have wholesalers. Then you've got an online wholesaler. So that at some point can be a major conflict for you. So I don't know if you're thinking about private labeling to people that are competitors of yours so that you can each have your own brand. But I think it's an interesting conversation because it was a miss.
I don't think at, you know, a couple 10 grand a year in this size market that their website's ever going to be a big competition for them. I mean, I think in this, respectfully disagree,
Yes.
but you know, I think your retailers probably expect that you're going to have your little e-commerce thing, but it sounds like the wholesale is where your future is. So you're going to just
Well, they got
use that on the
250
side.
hits, 250,000 YouTube hits on a video that didn't say what your product was. So I don't necessarily. So I think that's a
But-
problem.
Their retailer was very successful with that.
Right, so that retailer's model is actually a really interesting model to look at. It's called VAT19.com, and they pick up interesting gift items. I think their tagline is curiously awesome gifts. So they take on a new product, and then their entire scheme is making a YouTube video, pretty high
Okay.
production value.
Got it.
That's how they sell the products. When we got into it, we didn't necessarily know that the video was going to happen, but that's really, you know, their way of driving sales to their website. And it's generated a ton of revenue for us. I mean, it is, they're buying at wholesale prices, but I mean.
Is the product they're getting? Do they get this product and it says Flowfold on it with your label here?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
And their description says Flowfold and stuff. It was just a conscious, I mean, we have Flowfold trademarked.
Right.
And in their video, it was just a conscious effort of, with the way search engine optimization and things like that, we don't want people searching Flowfold on Google and going to VAT19. They want to go to our website. If they search sailcloth wallet, they're going to maybe end up on VAT19 or ours. I mean, that was what we decided at the time.
How
Yeah,
effective, I was going to ask you, how effective do you find the term Flowfold for your product and describing your product? Because I know talking previously with some of the panelists, they were wondering the same thing. Is there a story behind that? or is-
Flowfold as a product name has been extremely effective, and
Okay.
in our development of the name, thinking about domain and Google and
Yeah.
getting that access to consumers was a huge part of the name.
Okay.
Right. And certainly an avenue for us to look at would be the private labeling. We've been approached about that. We have nothing necessarily against it, but since we aren't really going that way, the name is really important. It needs to be short. It needs to maybe spark some coolness in the younger crowd. You know, if it's something like Flowfold that people have never heard, it's really up to us to show what that name
Chip?
means. And
You can change that as you grow because I have some experience with private label and retail.
yeah.
My business, 2% of retail business represented 90% of my profit. So revenue can be generated from the wholesale side significantly. But don't ever underestimate, even if it's a small percentage of your business, that own personal website can
Right.
generate
Of
a
course.
lot of checks.
All right. Other comments, Debbie?
It's the gift and the gift shows that you go to for distribution?
It's a combination. So we do go to some gift shows, but we also are looking at and have in the past gone to more outdoor retail shows, more action, adventure, active sports markets.
The big ones, New York, Atlanta,
Right. We
Chicago,
went, right.
Seattle.
Right.
How will you?
So what is it that you want? Do you want to get into bigger vendors? Do you want to sell out in 3 years? What's your long-term exit strategy on this company?
Well, so our core values are the local manufacturing and the reusing waste. We believe that there's an opportunity to eventually take on some of the production ourselves. There are people in Maine that are good at making things, and there are younger people that don't know how to make things yet but could be trained. So turning into more of the manufacturing side.
You're saying bring the manufacturing internally?
Internally.
Yeah.
You know, not necessarily in the next few months, but in the next few years.
It presents an opportunity for margin expansion and getting a little more creative and flexible in our product offering.
Right.
So what are you looking for from the panel in terms of specifics? I know you talked about going to the next level or helping you grow sales. Is it business development? Is it help with your manufacturing that the university might provide? Is it mentoring through Maine Center for Entrepreneurial Development? Is it branding and sales that Elizabeth and Debbie might be able to add value, or money?
That's a great question. We have set up these projections well within our current operations and accessibility. To date, we have contributed $7,000 of our own money into Flowfold, so it's a relatively small amount for what we've been able to accomplish.
Yep. You've done great.
We identified some needs, as Charlie referenced, to take on a dedicated sales rep to double our sales this year, and also we were fortunate enough to receive a loan from the Island and Coastal Innovation Fund for $10,000. We're well on our way to paying that off. So financially, we may have some cash flow issue that we've been exploring a line of credit to solve. Not huge, well within our range. Just be about whether or not getting another loan or a line of credit would be the lowest cost of capital. But we're here today generally to explore any opportunities that we can increase our future growth or solve some of the problems that we are facing as a brand to get to our future growth. And just to explore any opportunities that are available.
All right, at this point, we only have a few minutes left in the program, unfortunately, but I'd like to ask the panel one by one if you could, if this is something you're interested in working on, any ideas or any role that you might like to offer for consideration by Flowfold. So Elizabeth, I want to start with you.
Well, I have to tell you, first of all, congratulations for getting $100,000 of sales with what I can calculate $20-something thousand put into the company. I'm shocked. I don't think I understand why people are buying this yet. I don't think that your branding is clear. But that is impressive. I saw that you had 10,000 Facebook fans. That is very difficult to get. So clearly there's something here that's speaking to the younger generation that I don't understand, but that doesn't mean it's not there, because I know how difficult it is to get sales, and that's very impressive. So I would be interested in looking further, looking at the branding, helping you with that messaging so that in a minute anybody would understand what you do and why you need to have one of these wallets. So that's what I could help you with, this is the messaging.
Debbie, your thoughts?
I like your product, and I think it is wonderful testimony to you that one of your vendors went out on a limb and invested their own money in making this very funny YouTube presentation that I would watch. I noticed on your website you have caps. I wish there were things more feminine, so that the bags are great. So I think you're doing great. You've had some success, and I think you'll have more.
And Debbie has a lot of experience in the fashion industry. And
corporate gifting is an area that I wondered about too. So.
Hugh Stevens, we only have a couple of minutes left.
I wouldn't want to delve into anybody else's turf here because I don't have branding experience like the rest of us do. But structurally how you set up your company, if you're going to bring in, you're going to internalize your manufacturing, that is something I can help you with. And how you would set up your corporate structure and how you reach out to wholesale accounts. But this may be a moment where we all participate in make an effort here, because there are some weaknesses and some strengths that represent across the board of this panel. But you definitely had something very solid here. And how do we translate that into what you want to do internally is going to be a challenge.
Don, we have a minute or two left.
Yeah, I'd just like to learn more about this lifestyle business thing, because I'm a techie and I understand those businesses. But I think this is an important part of the Maine economy, and I think it'd be good for all of us to know how to be able to help you more. And there may be some resources in the mentoring pool that could help you out.
So clear, everybody is impressed and would love to work with you. So if you'd like to work with a lead or any one individual, it would be a lot easier for you to do that, to coordinate the resources. But clearly everybody wants to help. Any thoughts on that? And then we got to wrap it up.
Well, the feedback you guys have given us is really good, and we hope to continue relationships with all of you guys, and the support that we've gotten from the Maine community is really a large part of what's gotten us to where we are today. So yeah, we'd be happy to continue the conversation with each of you.
Why don't we'll discuss it after the show in terms of who you want to work with. I just want to say, here are two young guys who are raised here, went to school here at the University of Maine, and rather than leave the state for opportunities elsewhere, have tried to make something happen here. And this is what our show is all about, to really showcase the entrepreneur spirit that we have here in Maine. And if nothing else, I want to congratulate you for what you've done, and we're excited.
Thank you.
So thank you, everybody. Appreciate it. So that was good. Good show.
Well,